Okay, so just share it. Share the text if you are having a textbook. This we will do first flight today. Okay, first flight, chapter 3. Two stories about flying. Share it. So, should I start now, children? Please share the text so that those who are without book can see. Please share it. Share the screen. Okay, so I'm starting this chapter. We have already lost much time. So now see two stories about flying. See, human beings have dreamt, okay, of conquering the skies, right? Now here we will see two stories related to flying and conquering one's fear. Okay, so both the stories tell the what you can say how an individual can conquer his fear. Every one of us is afraid, right? So how we can get over with it, right? How we can what you can say become brave. So there are certain external push, okay, which is necessary for us to overcome our fear. So here the first story is about a seagull. He is very young. Okay, this story is about a young seagull who is about to fly for the first time, and he is afraid, right? And how he overcomes his fear, we'll see that. See, the story begins. The young seagull was all alone on his ledge. Ledge, if you see the meaning here, a narrow horizontal shelf projecting from a wall. Now here, this ledge is ledge of the what you can say what we can call ledge of a reef, right? Horizontal wall, cliff, or other upright surface. Okay, in Hindi we can call it chattan or the opening. Okay, the edge of the cliff. So, the edge of the cliff. Yes. So now see, the young seagull was alone on his ledge. His brothers and his sister had already flown away the other day before. So he was left there. His siblings, brothers and sisters, they have flown already. He had been afraid to fly with them. And what was the problem with him? He is afraid of flying. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. Somehow, if he gathered his strength and then he ran all the way towards the edge of the cliff. But he couldn't, right? As soon as he reached on the edge, he stopped. Okay, why he stopped? Because he is afraid. He became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. And the cliff was very high, and beneath there is sea. Okay, and it is very deep. So this young seagull, he is very much afraid, okay, to flap his wings, okay, to leave that high cliff because he is afraid. Now see, he felt certain that his wings would never support him. though he is having a support, though he is having his wings, but somehow he couldn't gain confidence. Okay, that if I try to fly, my wings are not going to support me, I will fall down and I will die. This was his temperament, right? It's, you see, winning over your fear is nothing but your temperament, how you deal with the situation, right? Though in front of you there is army of hundreds, thousands, okay, and you are only 3, 4, 10, 20, okay, and you say, oh, in front of me there is army of thousand, okay, they have guns, tanks, oh, what should I do? I cannot win, okay. What has happened? Your confidence has lowered, your temperament is down, you cannot do it. We are only 4, we are only 5, we cannot fight them. See, they are in hundreds. No, it's not about the number, it's about the temperament, your willpower, right? If you have willpower, you can win over it. Okay, of course, it can be called madness, but sometimes madness can also give you a result, good result, right? So here he needed, this seagull, he needed some external push, right? So that he can overcome his fears and he can fly like his brothers and sisters, like his siblings, those who have already flown away from that cliff. Children, you can hear me? I'm audible now? Hello? Okay. So now see, where is it? Yes, his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. And then he ran away back to his hole where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew. Even his younger siblings, those who have short wings as compared to this seagull who is afraid, they also ran all the way to the edge of the cliff. They flapped their wings and they flew away, right? But this seagull who is having bigger wings, he cannot do so. Why? Because he has lack of willpower, lack of commitment, okay, lack of what you can say confidence. So he does not have that type of confidence in him as his brothers and sisters have, his siblings have. So even, okay, ran to the brink, flapped, okay, he failed to muster up courage to take the plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly, okay, in a sharp voice, in a sharp, what you can say, voice. His father and his mother, okay, they used to come to him and they used to shrill so that he can fly. But he couldn't gather that courage. Okay, here mustering means, where it has gone, muster up courage means to gather courage. To gather courage so that he can fly. To gather. One is together. That is different. Here, to gather, to collect. So he does not have that courage. His mother and his father, they used to come around and they used to shrill at him so that he can fly, but nothing happened. Upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge, he flew away, but for the life of him, he could not move. They said, okay, we are going to leave you here. You will die out of starvation and we are not going to feed you. You have to do it. If you want to eat, you have to fly. Okay, this was the push which has been given by, had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it standing on a rock while his parents circled around. Now, see, he was there on the edge of the cliff and he was watching his parents, and they were teaching his other siblings the art of flying, how to fly, how to fly with what you can say, wing up, various techniques of flying, and how to catch fish, okay, how to dive in, okay, to catch fish from the sea. All everything he can see was taught by his parents to his younger siblings. But he, because he is afraid, he just stood there on the edge of that cliff and he was watching everything in front of him. And he can even see his brothers and sister, his older brother, catching herring. Herring is a type of fish, and devouring it, eating it with a lot of pleasure. Devour, if you can see, the meaning is written here, devour, to eat greedily. And his younger sibling, his brother, oh no, his elder brother, he was eating the fish, herring, which he has caught, okay, greedily. Devour it standing on a rock while his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. And his parents, they were circling around his brother and making a loud crackle as if they were applauding him, okay, encouraging him and applauding him, as we used to clap. So in the same way, these birds, they crackle in order to encourage. And all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. And his parents, his family members, his siblings, they all walked about on the plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. And they were all taunting him, commenting him that you cannot do it, you are coward, what you will do, right? So it was very much painful for this young girl, seagull, because he is afraid. He cannot do it. He cannot gather up courage. Okay, so now see what happened. The sun was now ascending the sky. Now the sun is about to set, and it has already been 1 day, 24 hours since this young seagull has eaten anything, and the sun is about to get down, about to set, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. And the light of the sun, okay, setting sun, was falling straight away on the ledge on which this bird, this seagull, was sitting. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Okay, and he felt the heat of the sun, and he felt the heat in his stomach also, right? Because he has not eaten anything since 1 day. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Now you see, in order to save himself from flying, what he did, he stepped slowly out on the brink of the ledge, just the edge of the ledge. He has gone there, and standing on one leg with other leg hidden under his wing, he closed his one eye as if he is pretending to sleep. Still, they took no notice of him, and still his parents, his siblings, siblings, brothers and sisters, they took no notice on him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. And he can see his brothers and sisters, okay, taking a doze, taking a nap, okay, with their necks sunk. His father was preening the feathers of his white back. And his father, preening means to, what you can say here, preening, smoothing feathers with beak. Okay, his father was smoothing the feather with beak. Where it has gone? With on his white beak. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. So, the mother of this seagull, she was eating the fish and scraping her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him, as if his mother is trying to tempt him. Okay, she was eating fish in front of him and she is trying to tempt him so that he can at least give a try to fly. The sight of the food maddened him and he was hungry. It has been almost 24 hours. And the sight of the food, as soon as he looked at that at that fish, okay, he became mad with hunger. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Okay, and he's scraping his beak on the, what you can say, on the rock in order to make it sharp. Okay, and so that he can also eat. Now see, ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. And he was crying, he was making sound as if he is begging to his mother, okay, to give him food. Gaw call ah, she screamed back derisively, but he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. And after some time, what happened? He saw his mother taking fish in its beak. She started flying, and he thought that she is coming to feed him. She is coming to give him food. So he became happy and he was screaming happily. Now see. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. And he, seagull, the young seagull, he came on the ledge of the sea, tapping his feet as if his mother is about to give him food. And he was tempted. Nearer and nearer, she flew across, but when she was just opposite to him, she halted. But when she was opposite to him, just in the air, the mother gull stopped. Okay, she halted, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak, and that fish which was there in the beak of the mother was just at the reach of that seagull, the young seagull. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer. And then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. Then what happened? He was hungry and his condition was so bad that what he did, he just dived, okay, for the fish. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards. As soon as he dived, he started falling downwards. Okay, now he's in the air. and he is falling down. Okay, it has worked well. But see what happened? This seagull, it started falling down and down. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into the space. Then a monstrous terror seized him, and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. So as he was falling, his heart was in his mouth, and death was just in front of him. Suddenly, what happened? He flapped his wings, right? It happened in a very quick moment of time. So, where is it? Terror seized him, but only the last minute, the next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings, he could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. And now he started flying, and he can feel the air on the tips of his wings that were spread, right? Now he is about to fly. He could feel, okay, he was not falling headlong now. Now he was not falling headlong, means he was not falling on the ground with his head down. But now what happened? He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. Now he was soaring as the bird flies downwards and then outwards. Okay? He was no longer afraid. He just felt, okay? He felt dizzy because of weakness, right? Then he flapped his wings once, and then he soared upwards. Ga 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 ga. His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. He saw his two brothers and his sisters. Now he's in the air, he's flying, right? Now he is enjoying, okay, the air. He saw his brothers, sisters, all of them, they were hovering over him, around him. His sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. Okay, all these are what you can say adjectives of related to flying. Curving, banking, soaring, diving, right? The meaning is already there in the book if you can see. So now, as if his parents, his siblings, his brothers and sisters, they are now applauding him. Okay? For his act of bravery, for the heart which he has shown. And it is all because of temptation. And what was that temptation? Temptation for the fish, which his mother has brought in front of him in her beak. Right? If you see banking, soaring, curveting, here you can see the meanings are here. It's not here. Curveting, see, moving with an active action resembled a horse leap. Banking, flying with one wing higher than the other. Okay, so all these are adjectives related to flying. So we'll keep this class up till here, and tomorrow we will finish this and we'll start the next class, next chapter. Okay, thank you, children.